Hello and welcome to Kidder Farms. We're back with another episode of Edgewater, Saskatchewan, and we've made a few small changes here on the save since last time. We've been away for, I don't know, a couple of weeks at this point, it feels like, and we're finally feeling better. And one of the things that I did while I was off is read through a lot of the comments and such that everybody's been making. And I do agree, a lot of the comments were around the fact that we had kind of gotten our equipment a little bit ahead of the size of our fields and our farm. This map, while it feels huge, is a standard size map here still. And so I have swapped back to this versatile series tractor. We had one of these before, but I was having a lot of problems with it, like twisting and getting all bent around itself on the midpoint there. And BC Bueller has really patched this up. I want to say I had the Blue New Holland before. I can't actually remember. Maybe we had the versatile. Either way, we're back to this model tractor, and I've also picked up the Seedhawk air drill here. This is another mod by BC Bueller, and it's still a big air drill, but it's a lot smaller than the one that we were running, that Borgo. It's about 4 meters smaller, so 12 feet smaller. Hopefully this is going to feel still big for drilling these fields in a reasonable amount of time, but a little bit smaller than what we had. So I do appreciate all the suggestions in the comments. Keep them coming. We're probably going to make a few other changes to some of the equipment here in the series over the next several episodes as well. But I did swap all of this out for Net Zero. The tractor, the big versatile, the Delta Track, and the Borgo air drill and cart were all leased. And so what I did is I just returned those leases. I leased these instead, and then set my money back to approximately where we were, which was $18K. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to say we worked out a little bit of a deal with the dealership here and got everything set up how we want it. We're going to jump right in here, though, and start drilling these peas. We've got a lot of spring work left to do here, and just because we got a little bit smaller equipment doesn't mean that we're getting any better at driving it around just yet. For those that aren't watching my UMRV series, I announced over there, but the other change on my end that I made while I was out sick over the last few weeks here is I finally got my steering wheel all set up here in a dedicated recording spot, so I don't have to tear it down in between episodes. And so for moving forward, we're going to be trying to record all of our videos, I'll say a little bit more realistically, with using the steering wheel for everything. And we'll see how that improves my gameplay. I am trying to continue to just get better at doing things a little bit more naturally here. And so we'll see how that goes. Now, this is quite the turn back here. I don't know how I'm supposed to make this. We've already messed it up. I'm going to hit this tree on my spin back around, I'm pretty sure. Oh, not quite. We made it. But we're jackknifing this air cart something fierce here, so we need to fix this on our next pass. We've done a horrible job here. In fact, I'm going to fix this right now. We're going to lift this thing up and circle back around. I got so busy talking about what we were doing and didn't pay enough attention to where we were driving. As long as we're over here, I'm going to see if I can fix this little bit that got skipped when we were taking this corner. I don't know what happened here, but we'll just smooth that back out as well. But like I was saying, now that we've got the steering wheel all set up and stuff, we're going to try and continue to do things a little bit more realistically. We might find ourselves trying to work towards a bit more in-cab driving and things like that. I'm not quite there yet. In fact, I'm still getting over being sick just a little bit, but I think I'm actually over it this time. We had a few false starts there, so I do appreciate everybody bearing with me here. We've got the air drill into the ditch over there, the creek. We don't need to be doing that. And this part, we smoothed a lot of these fields out, if I recall, before we got into spring here. And, oh, we've hit the tree. And we just haven't quite gotten everything to the point where we can get these bigger tools around where I want to. So we might have to keep working on the field edges just a little bit. We may actually turn some of this back into grass just because it's so hard to make some of these tight turns. We were having problems even with the smaller air drill that I was running, so that's not really the fault of the field. And man, I've got all of this grass area here to my left. I'm surprised that I didn't reclaim some of this when we were out here cleaning up this field. I feel like there were, I don't know why I would have missed this. I was going to say, I feel like maybe there was some more trees or something over here. I'm not really sure. But either way, we'll have to take care of that in the fall, get the tillage out, and maybe smooth that part out a little bit. That'll give us a little bit more ground to work to. And yes, I am plowing under all of our straw here from the previous season. The wheat straw isn't really going to give us that much money, and I just didn't even have the GPS course saved that we used, or I'm sorry, the courseplay course saved that I used when I harvested this field. And so given that we weren't going to be able to automate the baler, I did not have it in me to come out here and bale all this straw up manually just yet. In fact, I'm not even sure yet what equipment we're going to use to do that, although I do want to get a good baler going. I can't really handle round bales though, so I think it's going to be a square baler. I was really looking for something that I could use for that, but I can't find any great square balers that aren't European style. Aside from, I guess, that Heston that we used in the one episode would be about the closest thing I can find. I was really hoping to find something that was going to be cross-platform. I'm trying to set this map up with a lot more cross-platform mods. I think my plan is to convert this farm over to be something that I'm going to host multiplayer and see if I can get some channel members to hop on here and help me farm the Edgewater, Saskatchewan map next season. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think that'd be a lot of fun to do a little bit more multiplayer live streams and such, or maybe even just multiplayer episodes. If I set up dedicated times when I'm going to be recording this, and if anybody's on and around and they want to hop in and be part of the episode, then we could set that up and do something along those lines. I don't know exactly how that's going to work just yet, but I've been thinking about that, so I'm floating it out there in the episode today to see what kind of interest there'd be. I'm going to put some messages out in the members-only chat on our Discord server, so don't forget to hop on the Discord server if you're looking to get involved with the community. We've got a lot of great people on there. In fact, I think we're at, 3,000 plus people on the Discord server these days. But it's a lot of people are inactive there, but I try to be pretty active. I'm responding to messages every day from different people in different channels, so it's been a great place to kind of hang out with the community, get some help. I know I get a lot of help there, and others, so as always, the links are in the description of the video if you're interested in joining that. And yeah, if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to subscribe. We are going to get back to doing content on Monday through Friday for our 2 series that we're running, and I like to live stream on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So we're getting peas on this field. That I remembered that much, at least, is that I wanted to put peas over here because this field is kind of a pain when it comes to swapping and having to pick things back up, running multiple tools through the field just because it's my curvier field. And so I'm thinking our other fields are going to be either canola or flax are the other 2 crops that we wanted to get in this year. And since it's been so long, I'm trying to remember which fields I said I was going to put which crop in. I don't know that it matters that much, but I think we'll do 2 fields of canola, and then a field of flax is where my mind is at. And I'm going to try, and I was going to try and make that turn. It was just a little tight for me, though, so what I'm going to do is swing all the way around here and take this last bit of headland off here, just so I'm not having to come all the way back down into these curvy bits as we keep going on this field. Something like this. There we go. I do have GPS in this tractor. I guess I didn't think to get that set up yet. It's a pretty curvy field, so I'm not too worried about getting anything like that going. And we did try to smooth things out in this field so that we could run course play and such, but with the size of these implements, I'm not even going to bother trying to get a play course going out here. Mostly we've got the steering wheel set up today, so I wanted to take a chance to just work my way through these fields the old-fashioned way, see how we could do. By the time I'm done taking the headland passes off here, I feel like we're going to be pretty much most of the way done with this field the way that it's laid out. I should have started turning a lot earlier there. My bad. We've got a lot to clean up here. I missed a big corner chunk over there as well, but I figured it'd take too much effort to spin around and get it at the time. But maybe what we'll do, since this section is kind of its own piece of the field compared to the back section there, is I'll spin in and take that now as we come back through here and try and clean up a little bit rather than focus solely on the headland pass here, since I can't quite get all of that little section to my right. We'll set ourselves up in such a way that as I turn through here, hopefully I can swing this right side wing all the way around and cover this bit that we missed before. And we're still missing it. There must be just a little bit of a dip there. I've caught the tree, so let me see if I can fold this wing up and get through here. There we go. Good deal. It conveniently only folded up that right wing when we did that, so I'm not complaining. That worked out great. Get everything fired back up here, and we'll be set up to take this last little bit out. Perfect. And let me see here. I think I'm in a far too high of a gear range for this. I'm going to drop my range down to 2, and then we should be going pretty good here. I'm going 9 miles an hour. Let me just hop in here. I'm kind of curious if that's the max. That is the max speed for this air drill. Perfect. I like my RPMs a lot better where they're at there, kind of topping out and getting me at 9 miles an hour. I was noticing that things were just a little bit sluggish when we were trying to get going in that third range. All right, we're all done back here. Let's see if I can sneak my way out without putting this thing in the drainage ditch here. Oh, we're still going to lose a wing down the side. Unfortunate. Now, the only downside is when I've got this thing lifted up, I don't go a whole lot faster than 9 miles an hour. That's probably all right. We're not doing a lot of moving around in the field here. And I think I am going to just finish this section as long as we're here before we go into the back part of the field there and knock that out. See if I can follow this curve around. Oh, we're getting a little tight. Every time I pick up a new set of equipment, I find that I'm having to readjust my driving to get used to the widths and the turning radiuses and all that good stuff on a piece of equipment. And I feel like in general, just because of the type of series and such that I've been running, I haven't done a lot with really large equipment in some time, so I'm adjusting to all of that as well. Let me see here. The in-cab view on this tractor is quite nice. Did some good work here. Unfortunately, the steering wheel is blocking out most of the RPM gauge here. I'm trying to... Oh, I missed a little corner back there. I'm trying to find a good view. I apologize. I'm sure the camera is all kinds of jerky. I don't do a whole lot of in-cab driving here. We missed little bits going both ways there, so I'm going to have to swing back around and hopefully cut this corner tight enough that I can drop this drill back down and catch it on the way by here. There we go. We've got that bit, and we just need to get this bit here. If I look behind me, we should be able to see when I grab that. And perfect. Then we just gotta grab this last bit over here, and we're ready to head to the rear section of this field. I will say this is quite the nice setup. It has been working out quite well. It is a little bit better than I think the big Bourgault air drill that we had. I'm feeling a lot less cramped, I guess I'll say. in these field turns and stuff, that extra 12 feet of width really added up on some of these areas. I mean, like here, you know, I think when we came through here, if I would have come through here with the Bourgeois drill, it would have been wider than that area, and we would have been having it hang over onto each side into the ditch. That would have felt just way, way too big for us. So this is going to be a much better fit for this map and this playthrough, I think. So we're just coming back here doing our first round on this. It looks like I'll have just a little smidge left to clean up. One more round after we get over here into the corner. Didn't take but a moment here at all to knock out the rest of these peas. I was actually thinking that this might be a little bit more of a hassle than it was. But no, this field turned out to be quite easy. Don't turn too tight, don't turn too tight. Gotta keep the air drill tires from rubbing on the tongue there. I have found that that's what gets me, is if I get just a little bit too close to the air cart, is when I run into problems turning around with this thing. So we could have done a lot better job of picking up the missed bits here, but I'm still getting used to this thing. It's really bothering me that we've got so much grass just sitting right there. I really should have run out here with the VT and tried to till that up. In fact, maybe we'll still do that. Maybe we will. I'm going to just finish this missed bit. We'll probably end up hitting a little bit of the area that I already air drilled if we do that. But I'd rather maximize our profits this year and also just smooth that field out a little bit before we come into not tillage, but harvest here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and disconnect, I think, the air drill right out here, because we're going to need to come out and reseed that area once we get it all touched up here. So I'm going to toss this thing up into third range. I think it's only got 3 ranges if I remember. And we're going to run back up here to the farm and see if we can grab that tillage tool. Man, I feel like maybe I should have smoothed this corner out a little bit too. Although we do have that creek right there. We'll think about that on the way back through with the tillage tool. All right, we are back up here with our tillage tool all set up here. And we're going to just, we're going to go crazy. We're going to come all the way over here by the creek and run through this and see how it works out. I'm going to try and keep a nice gradual turn here though. We don't want to get too crazy or too close to these trees, to be honest. And yeah, I know I'm just tearing up all of this stuff that we planted, but I do need to make sure I get it all smoothed out here like so. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's swing back around here. It looks like I did miss some areas because there was so much to hit that we got a little grass in the middle of the field here now. So I've got to tear up even more of our already seeded ground to get this all straightened out here. It looks like I've got a little bit of a point there as well. We're going to have to take care of that, but I'm going to need to kind of get lined up on the right direction to smooth that piece out. So we're gonna make a swing all the way back around here. Now I could take that tree out and really, oops, we didn't get lined up right. I could take this tree out and really straighten out that little bit of a bend there, but I'm okay with having some trees. I do like having the decoration here, and I'm not trying to 100% maximize every inch of ground yet. I'm gonna drop this back down, and then we're gonna just take this around the curve nice and gradual like so. There we are. I don't see a need to really get further into that corner. And then this bit out here, we might as well straighten it out while we're here. I like to have a nice straight bit when I can. And just bring this right on around here. We are wasting a little bit of seed, but that's all right. And yeah, I don't want to be getting into the trees too much here. I hit a little bit of that curve when we were driving in here, and I've got a bit of a point there, so I'm gonna go ahead and get spun in here, and then we're gonna see if I can back up and take care of that point. I like to have nice, smooth, gradual turns whenever I can. Oh, we don't want to run into our air drill too much here. So let me see if we can... Oh, we're caught. There we go. And this is going to be just a disaster. We're getting way too close to that creek here. Smooth this all out. There we are. And let's go ahead and make this a nice straight line here as well. This was really bothering me when we were coming through with the air drill. So we're gonna take care of it right now. And yeah, I've got a little bit of seeding to catch back up on now, but I think this is gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this back up here. Actually, let's turn off create field so I don't forget to do that later on when we're coming through here. Fold this all up and we'll drive it back up to the farm, and I'll be right back out here to get hooked up to the air drill. All right, we're back over here and I've got the drill all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the bit right in front of me, as long as that's where I'm lined up to. We're way into the ditch with this. Wasn't as lined up as I thought I was, but I am gonna see if I can make it around this curve. And oh yeah, this is a much straighter line along the edge of this creek here now this time, so in theory we'll have a much easier time running the drill along this without all the little curvy bits everywhere. I'm quite pleased with the small, simple modifications we're making to the farm here just to make our lives a little bit easier. We're definitely getting there. My driving hasn't so much improved yet, but we are missing the trees, so I guess I'll take that as a win. And let's go ahead and see if we can circle around here and take this bit. Now, hopefully, even though the VT tool wasn't wide enough to do all this in a single pass, the air drill will be wide enough to take care of it all. I'd hate to have to circle around to get tiny little bits. It looks like, yep, we just made it perfect. And this is a much nicer curve here. We've got everything is super gradual, easy to hit with this big air drill. And that part along the grassway there was nice and straight, so I'm liking that a lot. Now all I've got left to do is take care of this bit at the entrance. I'm coming at this from kind of an awkward angle. I think what I'll do is make sure I get this part over by the creek, and then we'll just circle around and drive right through. I'm noticing I'm in a little bit of a different gearing right now. I am in third range, it looks like. So we're able to go a little bit faster when I raise up, but I think we've still got a bit low on the RPMs when we drop this thing into the ground, although that's not horrendous. Maybe we'll run with this just so we can get a little bit of extra speed when we raise up in between spots here. Now, I did this off camera. I forgot to hit the record button, but I was leaving the field with the tillage tool, and I said, you know what, let's just fix a couple of these little areas that were bugging me. So we leveled out the bump that was here. Looking at this as we're doing it, I probably could have got a little closer to the creek on the point there, but that's all right. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just better than it was. This was quite the bump here. And then if I circle back around here, we smoothed out the whole area over with the other, I don't even know what to call this. It's not really a peninsula, but where the drainage ditch comes out to the point here by the tree. There was a lot of grass out there, so we're gonna have that be all smoothed out now as well. See if I can avoid hitting the tree. We're getting too close, too close. We've completely mucked that up, but we still managed to salvage it, I guess. So I guess that's a testament to having that be a much better curve, and hopefully when we're doing this next time, I'll come at that from a responsible angle and not be all crazy with my turns. Now, we do need to get this thing all folded up. There's no way I could get this across the road without folding it up. The lanes aren't quite that wide, I don't think, and the ditches are kind of steep. All right, there we are. Let me get this back up into the farmyard. I think next we're gonna be moving the time forward and kicking off our flax and canola seeding here. I don't think there's anything left to do in the month of April. I really think I need to get all the way ahead into the next month before we can start doing any of the seeding. I think everything for the other crops happens in May here. So we'll just park this back up in the yard. I'm looking over at my clock. I'm actually not sure how long we've been recording, so I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up today's episode. Our first attempt back into Edgewater, Saskatchewan in a little bit with how long I was off. But we should be back on schedule now, so expect regular videos moving forward, and we'll see where things go from here. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button, helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedurk out.